Hello everyone, here's my video on tips and tricks for AP, and actually it applies to both AB and BC classes. So use of parentheses. I'll make several of these videos. I'm thinking I have too much content in here. So for example, when you are doing chain rule, f of x is equal to e to the 5x squared plus 3x. Okay? You want to do the derivative, then it would be e to the 5x squared plus 3x, I should put an x in here, times, and be careful now, 10x plus 3 by the chain rule. That's dash and double dash, yes? So you want to put the parentheses and you want to put the dot, okay? Okay, here's another situation. Let's say f of x is 5x plus 3 over 2x minus 1. You want to take the derivative. Notice how this expression does not have a parenthesis to begin with, so it would be 5 times 2x minus 1 minus, leave the 5x plus 3 alone, times 2. Okay, and when you actually have to simplify this, if you have to, okay, be careful that the 2 and the negative, they both distribute over the parentheses. Okay, so be really careful, okay, when you're doing that. Computations. There's never any need to simplify computations. Even in a long Riemann sum, you always must specify that you are multiplying by 1 or something, but no need to simplify computations. Okay. So let's say if we have f of x to be e to the 5x times sine of 3x. Okay. I'm doing the derivative. This is also an example of product rule. E to the 5x times 5, notice the dot in here, times sine of 3x. You don't want to leave it mysterious. You want to make sure that you're clear when you're showing your work. And then chain rule for the other one, cosine of 3x times 3. And now you want to put f prime, let's say, of pi over 2. Yeah? Then you just plug it in. And yes, you might know that sine of 5 pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2 is equal to -1. But you don't need to calculate that for the grader. You just need to plug it in. As long as you have a numerical expression, that will be enough. Okay. Units. If you're doing units for derivatives, okay, the units for the derivatives, let's say you have a table of value, you have time versus some kind of density function. Time, let's see it's measured in years. And then let's say you have millions of cells per year. Okay, and then some function L in here, I say 1, 2, 3, let's say 5, 10, and 9, 10, 15, 20, 21, let's say, yeah? So they're asking you to estimate, let's say, L prime of, I say, 4 using the table. Well, you must show the difference quotient, so 20 minus 15 over 5 minus 3. No need to simplify that. They may ask the units, and that would be units of the top, millions of cells per year divided by year. No need to simplify this further. Those are units. What does it mean? That at year 4, year t equals 4, the L is increasing at the rate of whatever you got there. And you could just copy that question. Okay? Important to say at t equals 4. And okay, sometimes you see L is kind of a rate in itself, so a rate could be increasing, yes, or you could just say L is increasing at, you know, and then the rate is that. Okay, L is increasing where L prime is that. That's also fine. Okay, if you were to integrate L of t dt, essentially you're integrating millions of cells per year. Then you go back a unit of time. So you're going to get something in millions of cells. Okay, that's the game of the unit. So when you take the derivative, the years disappear. Okay, when you take the integrals, the years disappear. When you take the derivative, you have another unit of time in here. That's what I really wanted to say. Okay, so you could have also have L to be measured in millions of cells per year squared, and then here you're going to get millions of cells per year. Okay. You see that? That's the game of the units. Use of labels. Yes, always, if you're not labeled in the problem, always tell your grader what you're calculating, okay? So here's an example. A of t, let's say you're in a motion problem and you calculate the acceleration. You really must tell them that A is v prime of t. You might mean it in your head that A stands for acceleration, but it's not clear until you show that, okay? And then you put it in your graphing calculator and see what you get, okay? If you're not sure what the label might be for what you calculated, but they're asking you to find the rate of change of something, then you use that part of the question from the prompt into your answer. The rate of change of whatever is ... okay? Or f prime, but not everything would be f prime. Don't lead into the fact that every function is called f, okay? Don't say the function in general, the derivative or the slope. Those are very vague denominations because it could mean the derivative of the derivative, the slope of whom. Say the slope to the graph of the function f, g, whatever the name of the function at x equals something is, okay? So use the specific label, okay? Don't take the derivative. We say here, not just the function. Don't plug in and don't plug in at the same time as you're estimating something. So let's say f prime of x, you calculated that, and it's 3x plus 5, yeah? And then they ask you, what's f prime of 4? Okay, well, that's 3 times 4 plus 5, okay? But you cannot set this one equal with 3 times 4. 3 times 4 plus 5, okay? That's called linkage, and they deduct 1 point of the answer point. This is a way for you to score on the easiest questions without losing points. That makes up your base score. Your base score has way more points by comparison with the harder parts of an FRQ, because whatever is going to be difficult for you is going to be difficult for the other kids in the nation. So you must pay attention to the base score. You must write neatly, clearly, explain everything. Yes. Make your word clear, and don't do some of those linkage mistakes or loose parentheses and whatnot, okay? Changing or crossing out work, okay? You got 4 minutes till the end of your FRQ. You realize that everything that you've done in the separable, maybe in part C, it's all wrong. Just cross it out, okay? Let's say maybe you have 4 minutes, you cross it out and you think you can recover that. But if you have 2 minutes, maybe modify, okay? You have time to never start erasing, okay? Don't just erase stuff because that will eat up another minute or two. Then you're going to be all flustered and decomposed. You need that time to focus and rewrite your solution. So just cross out the old one, rewrite the new one. Okay? If you don't have time, chances are what you've done in the old one is somewhat correct. So if you messed up a derivative or an integral, go back and fix that and adjust throughout rather than erasing everything and then panicking that you don't have time left. Okay? That's what my 2 cents was for part 1. I have several videos that I plan on making. If you leave both solutions there, the one that's crossed out and the one that's not crossed out, just because you didn't know what to do, you will get deductions for both. So, and I'm not sure if they'll do an average or not, but whatever you got wrong in the first one and whatever you got wrong in the second one will be averaged, okay? So, and then just erasing stuff is a waste of time. It's like, oh, I think I'm wrong. Let me just erase everything and let me just write down one tiny sentence or one tiny thing and turn it in. That's usually a student mistake, okay? Because you leave yourself too little time to recover, okay? Modify if you have little time, cross out, and start working if you have 4 minutes or more, okay? I hope that made sense. That's it.